On that day, when evening had come, he said to them, "Let us go across to the other side." And leaving the crowd, they took him with them in the boat just as he was, and other boats were with him. And a great windstorm arose, and the waves were breaking into the boat, so that the boat was already filling. But he was in the stern, asleep on the cushion. And they woke him and said to him, "Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing?" And he awoke and rebuked the wind and said to the sea, "Peace, be still." And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. He said to them, "Why are you so afraid? Have you still no faith?" And they were filled with great fear and said to one another, "Who then is this that even the wind and the sea obey him?" Don't just look at this and go, "Okay, that's a cool Bible story." No, this is real, like a real person, like this happened. Like I am on the Sea of Galilee right now. Okay, in a boat, and I'm just imagining like this water coming onto the boat where it's just out of control, and me believing I'm gonna die inside of this boat, and waking someone up here, and him just speaking to the wind and the waves and saying, "Be still," and everything just boom, going flat. Like, what would I do? The disciples didn't go, "Wow, that was amazing." No, it says they were filled with great fear and said, "Who is this?" Okay, I knew he was a teacher. I saw him heal some people. I saw the casting of the what? The wind and the waves obey him? Who do we have in the boat? They were terrified. But look at what Jesus says to them when they wake him up. He's like, he looks at them, he goes, "Why are you so afraid?" What are you guys afraid of? Wasn't it obvious? Our boat is taking on water. There's a storm out here. And Jesus just looks at him and he asks, "Have you guys, seriously, you still have no faith? You seriously don't believe? What did you think? That I was gonna die? And let us all die? Do you not understand that I'm in control of everything?" And I look at the expectation that Jesus had for those men back then, and we could look at that story and go, "Yeah, those disciples, man, they saw him with all this power, healing and everything else, and still they're afraid." You gotta understand, he expects that from us today. And we should, when I read the New Testament, it doesn't say that it's going to be more difficult now because Jesus is no longer physically on the boat with us. No, what I read in the New Testament is that it's actually that we have an advantage over the disciples. And so with every storm, whatever we're going through, we're supposed to believe he's literally here. Why am I afraid of anything? Like, I want to just walk around now for the rest of my life going, I'm not afraid of anything. Nothing can happen to me. He is literally with me because I have faith. Man, if there's still fears in your life and everything else, it's because you don't really believe that he's there. And it's the same question and even deeper now. Now internally there's a change and Jesus is with you. And he's saying, why are you afraid? You still don't believe? And as Jesus went throughout this region, after that, he goes over to the area of the Gerasenes, and that's where the demon-possessed man is. And everyone in that village understood, like, this guy is terrifying. Like, he's out of control. And Jesus just speaks to the demons that are in him, and the demons leave, and they see these pigs come rushing down this hill and drowning themselves because the demons went into the pigs. And what it says about them is they don't go, whoa, that was amazing. You know, like we do in our Bible study. It's like, wow, could you imagine? No, it says they were terrified. They were afraid. And it says they begged Jesus to depart from their region. Can you just try to imagine how terrifying this is? And while we can judge them and say, wow, why would they tell him to leave? Because they didn't want Jesus to interrupt them in their life. You're talking about a power that interrupts everything. And they're saying, I want to get back to my life. And that's people today. I don't want you to interrupt. I like life as it is. I don't want someone with that much authority and power coming in because he has to take over as the king, as the Lord. And he leaves there, and that's when Jairus, talks about his daughter and how she's dying, and, Jesus, will you come? And so he starts heading there, and then the woman that has the bleeding touches, his cloak, and it's that whole beautiful scene of his power over her illness, and him just feel like someone just touched me. And the disciples are like, what do you mean? Everyone's pressing. He goes, no. This was different. It was this woman who had this faith, and she just knew, like, I've got to get to him. I've got to touch him. Like, that's who we want to be. Not like everyone else that's pressing in. It's like, no, I'm going to press in with more faith, and I'm going to go reach out. And is that you? Or are you that one person in the crowd that's just like, I'm going to go after this 100%? And to me, the most touching part is then when you get to the actual girl that he goes to heal, everyone's saying, she's already dead. If you had come earlier, if you would just come a little bit sooner. And Jesus is saying, look, she's not dead. She's sleeping. And they laughed at him. And it says in verse 41, taking her by the hand, he said to her, Talitha Kumi, which means, little girl, I say to you, arise. And immediately the girl got up and began walking, for she was 12 years of age. And they were immediately overcome with amazement. Okay. What I understand of that phrase, and I'm no scholar, but that word, that phrase, little girl, was not just, from what I've studied, not just little girl. It would be a term of endearment. Try to get your mind around this. It would be like, like when you're looking at a little girl and you're saying, come here, sweetie. Try to get your mind around this. You're talking about the king of the universe. Okay, comes down to the earth, and he's just like calming the sea, like stop. Boom. Everyone's terrified. You see a demon-possessed man, it's like, get out of him. Boom. These pigs come rushing down, healing. And then he comes to a little girl, and it's not only his power over death, but even the way he does it is like, come here, sweetie. Like, it blows my mind that we live in a time and in a country and in a quote-unquote church, if you can even call it that anymore, where we're just like begging people, please, 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 just show up, just pray a little bit, try to read the Bible, for a few minutes every day. We're like begging you to follow a person who can calm the seas and cast out demons and then look at a little girl and says, come here, sweetie. Like, you're not begging him. We should be like that guy who had the demons cast out, who it says that he was begging Jesus, can I follow you? Can I follow you? Can I follow you? Man, like, where is your life right now? Like, do you even get this? This is not just a bunch of little stories. It's about following the King of the universe that has power over death, over the waves and the sea, over the demons, and says to you, a little girl, come here, sweetie. Rise from the dead. A God of compassion. And we have to beg you to fit him into your life? Man, where's your faith? Beg him today and say, God, I'll leave everything if I can be with you.